Fortunato had hurt me 1,000 times, and I had suffered quietly. I learned that he had laughed at my proud name, Montresor. I promised myself that I would make him pay for this, but I must not suffer as a result of taking my revenge. I gave Fortunato no cause to doubt, but continued to smile in his face, and he did not understand that I was now smiling at the thought of what I had planned for him, at the thought of my revenge. Fortunato was a strong man, a man to be feared, but he had one great weakness. He liked to drink good wine, and indeed he drank much of it. He knew a lot about fine wines. I bought the best I could find, and wine, I thought, wine would give me my revenge.
Fortunato, how are you?
Montresor, my great friend.
Good to see you. My dear Fortunato, I am indeed glad that I have found you. I was just thinking about you. For I have been talking, for I have been tasting my new wine. I have bought a full cask of a fine wine, which they tell me is Amontillado. But
Amontillado? That seems quite impossible.
I know it does not seem possible, as I could not find you. I was just going to talk to Lucrezi. If anyone understands wines, it is Lucrezi. He will tell me.
Crazy, he doesn't know one wine from another.
But they say he knows as much wine as you.
Come, let us go. The cold is lifting. Amontillado, ha! Someone's lying. And Crazy, he knows nothing about wine.
As he spoke, Fortunato took my arm, and I allowed him to hurry me to my great stone palace, where my family, the Montresors, had lived for centuries. There was no one at home. I had told the servants that they must not leave the palace. This I knew was enough to make it certain that they would all leave as soon as my back was turned. I took down from the wall two brightly burning lights, asking him to be careful as he followed. I went down before him, down under the ground, old walls of my palace. We stood there for a moment, together. We were entering the last resting place of the dead Montresor family. Here, too, we kept our finest wine. Fortunato's step was not sure because of the wine he had been drinking. He looked uncertainly around him, trying to see through the thick darkness that pushed in around us. Here, our brightly burning lights seemed weak indeed. We could see the bones of the dead lying in large piles along the walls. The stones of the walls were wet and cold. The long rows of bottles which were lying on the floor among the bones, I chose one which contained a very good wine, and offered the bottle to Fortunato.
Here, Fortunato, drink some of this fine Medoc. It will help to keep us warm. Drink.
I pour it in the cup. Thank you, my friend. I drink to the dead whom are laying around us.
And I, Fortunato, I drink to your long life.
A very fine wine indeed, but the Amontillado.
It is farther on. Come.
We walked on for some time. We are now under the river's bed, and water fell in drops upon us from above. Deeper into the ground we went, past still more bones.
faults are many and large. There seems to be no end to them.
We are a great family, an old one. It is not far now, but I can see you are trembling with the cold. Come, let us go back before it is too late.
It is nothing. Let us go on. But first, another drink of your medak.
I took up from among the bones another bottle. It was another wine of a fine quality, a de Grave. Again, I broke off the neck of the bottle. Fortunato took it and drank half without stopping for a breath. He laughed and threw the empty bottle over his shoulder. We went on, deeper and deeper into the earth. Finally, we arrived at a vault in which the air was so old and heavy that our lights almost died. Against three of the walls, there were piles of bones higher than our heads. In the middle of the wall was an opening to another vault, if I can call it that. A little room about 3 feet wide, 6 or 7 feet high, and perhaps 4 feet deep. It was hardly more than a hole in the wall.
Go on in. The Amontillado is in there.
Fortunato continued to go forward uncertainly. Soon, of course, he reached the back wall. He stood there for a moment, facing the wall, surprised and wondering. In that wall were two heavy iron rings. A short chain was hanging from one of these, and a lock from the other. Before Fortunato could guess what was happening, I closed the lock and chained him tightly to the wall. I stepped back.
Fortunato, put your head against the wall. You must feel how the water runs over it. Once more, I ask you, please, will you not go back? No. If not, then I must leave you. But first, I must do everything I can for you.
But the Amontillado.
Ah, yes, the Amontillado.
As I spoke these words, I began to search the bones. I found the stones that I had taken down from the wall earlier. Quickly, I began to build the wall again, covering the hole where Fortunato stood trembling.
Montresor, what are you doing? Haha, this is a very good joke. Indeed. Many times we will laugh about it, haha, as we drink our wine.
Ah, yes, the Amontillado.
But is it not late? Should we not be going back? They will be expecting us. Let's go.
Yes, let us go.
Montresor, for the love of God!
Yes, for the love of God. Fortunato! Fortunato!
I heard only a soft, low sound, a half cry of fear. My heart grew sick. It must have been cold. I hurried to force the last stone in its position, and I put the old bones again in the pile against the wall. For half a century now, no human has touched them. May he rest in peace.
Oh my goodness. Okay, cut.
I forgot. I can't see. I can't see.
For myself, because in the story, I'm not drunk.
Get a load of this guy. Frickin' nerd.